All right, everyone, we should be live. Let's make sure that's actually the case over on Rumble, of course. I'm assuming that we are. Again, I still have neglected to contact them with regards to their the chat function over there. We've got a lot to talk about today, of course. Javier Milei has won the Argentinian election. It wasn't even particularly close. It was by a double-digit margin. So we're celebrating today. Javier Milei is now the new president of Argentina, and everything that happens from now is open to speculation. He seems to be a stick-to-your-guns kind of dude. He doesn't really give a shit about being pragmatic, so we'll be seeing that. We'll be talking about that. Rosalyn Carter's dead. She, of course, the wife of Jimmy Carter. She entered hospice a couple of days ago, and Jimmy Carter has been in hospice for some time, actually, for I think about a month. So she's dead. I have a feeling that Jimmy will follow fairly soon after. We'll be talking about guinea worms, of course, pertinent to that. Also, a bunch of corporations deciding to pull advertising from Twitter for absolutely no reason because of a badly botched and now litigated Media Matters expose, you could call it. We've got Kanye West going completely batshit. I mean, again, for what, fourth or fifth time. He's clearly he gives no more fucks. His new song, Vulture, we'll be talking about some of the lyrics in there. I'm just trying to figure out if I'm on a YouTube live stream, how I can relate the lyrics without getting banned. So I'm going to be picking around that a little bit. We've also got one of our own resident clankers, Freeze Blue IT, actually catching the Bill Clinton Twitter page in an oopsie about Rosalyn Carter. It's not a good look, which explains why they apparently blocked him after he posted the archival link. So we're going to be making sure that that is pushed as far as possible. I want all you to go to that link. Links in the description to all of these things. Make sure to give Freeze Blue a follow and replicate that link with the archive so that people know about Bill Clinton's team making one hell of a goddamn oopsie. Yes, it is definitely newsworthy, and in less newsworthy news, but yeah, something that's kind of interesting. Boy 10 killed by violent gang of monkeys that continues to terrorize small village. This is in India. We'll be reading through that story. Yes, he was apparently gutted by a bunch of little monkeys. Deepak Thakur. So he rest in peace to you. I mean, he's just a little kid, but it's an interesting story. There are monkeys all over the place in parts of Southern Asia, but usually monkey bands don't attack and kill people. They might rough you up, but when they literally decide to disembowel a young boy, that's maybe they want to exterminate this particular band before it, I don't know, gets the taste for human meat or something like that. Be the plot of a horror film. Mopey Hornet, hey Sticks, when Stolas talks to you, did it have an accent like Old English or something? No, it's actually very much like the description in the Ars Goetia, which is the sort of a hissing, rasping sound that sort of gets into your head, actually. Sounds a little bit like a distant train whistle mixed with the sound of static, if I had to describe it. Fire down below, define, shitlib. A shitlib, a NIMBYist leftoid who doesn't understand basic reality, and wants others to suffer but never wants to suffer themselves. Also see NIMBYist or neoliberal. Yeah, Joyful Division. Imagine it spoke in a Valley Girl accent. Yeah, that would be quite something. We've got Swamp Donkey over on Rumble. Milei's backers are a whole plethora of neoliberals and globalists, one of which is a literal Israeli asset. Also, one of the Pizzagate people that debunked the story he was found doing, well, I did see that. Unfortunately, I can't talk about that on a live stream because it's verboten on YouTube to talk about the truth. We'll get right into Milei. So yes, Javier Milei has been elected the president of Argentina. It wasn't close. I expected it to be closer, honestly. It was going to be sort of a 50-50 sum deal. I expected he had an advantage at the end because of the endorsements he got, but it was an underwhelming one. Instead, the Argentine people handed him a double-digit victory. So libertarian populism has now won in a country that for 4 or 5 decades now has been known mainly for socialism, for leftist so-called progressivism. Here's my thing. First, let me analyze this from the perspective of an American. If you can have a person who swears constantly, unfurls the ANCAP flag regularly on podcasts, and says, fuck the state, I'm going to wipe my ass with it, when in a nation that is known mainly for its far-left socialism, with which they pissed away, the economic prosperity they had before. Argentina was a major economy until a few decades ago. It has slowly receded and become effectively, in some parts of Argentina, now third world because of leftoidism. If a population that ingrained into socialism can kick it to the curb and elect somebody who is conceived of as a freak, he was conceived of as a fanatic, a real hardliner libertarian, more libertarian than me in some cases, on some issues. Of course, I disagree with him on some, but mainly I like his platform, I will say. If Argentina can do that, then the United States damn well can have a populist-leaning presidency. Britain can definitely have populism. The European countries can definitely adopt populism. What I'm seeing is a resurgence of that mentality too. Here in the Netherlands, you have, for example, the Tractor Party. They've risen up and become the largest party in the parliament or Congress or whatever you'd call it here. It's a single issue party, basically hands off our farms. We want to grow our crops and shit, don't steal our land. In the United Kingdom, they're going in the opposite direction at the moment, but that's mainly because the Conservative Party isn't conservative. There is no conservative movement anymore in the UK. When one rises up, hopefully it goes Milei mode. Argentina is one of the more left-leaning countries in the world. And yet the people there who have gotten used to that post-industrial socialistic decadence have said, no, this isn't working quite clearly. We're going to have to do something else. And elected somebody who was repeatedly ridiculed for an extended period of time by the legacy media there and also abroad. U.S. media was talking about Milei and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. In the United States, therefore, I urge you all not to be black-pilled. Yes, ballot printers go burr. Yes, there will be shenanigans in the 2024 election. From the U.S. perspective, though, this gives me hope. If Milei, who is clearly further than Trump in the mean tweet sense, can win by a double-digit margin because of economic conditions solely. There's no migrant crisis. It's not about war or any of the other things that Joe Biden specifically is doing wrong. There's only one issue, and that's economics. If he's capable of doing that, then damn well we can have populism too. So that's point number one. Point number two. I see a lot of people ridiculing Milei, saying, well, he said he wanted to become Jewish or something like that. I'm thinking to myself, okay, you've got a dude in office who wants to slash and burn large swaths of the state's power, who wants to arm the population, who wants to return to, at worst, a classically liberal model, I suppose. Does anything else really matter? If the state is defanged, I mean, if a snake is defanged, does it matter how poisonous it is? No, of course it doesn't, because it can't bite you. Javier Milei is effectively what Argentina needs. He is the radiotherapy of Argentina. They've got cancer. The cancer is called communism. He is going to hopefully drastically purge that system. And in the end, like with Donald Trump, and I talked about that in 2016, even if he only accomplishes some of the things that he wants, because he does have to form a coalition government. He doesn't have singular rule, right? He can't become Pinochet, at least yet. Even if he only accomplishes 2 or 3 of the things that he wants, like abandoning the peso in favor of pegging to the dollar, rearming the population, getting rid of the anti-gunnery that's there, etc., he will still be a good leader. I would urge the Argentinians to be patient, though. You're going to go through a transformative period, especially if he goes hardline, in which your economy will probably get worse for some time. You have to go through the radiotherapy or the chemotherapy before the cancer is cured and you can start feeling better. You're going to feel worse for a while, motherfucker. That's the truth. That's the long and short of it. But in the end, you emerge more powerful because you've weaned yourself off of the drastic cancer that is socialism. That's what Argentina has been suffering under. You were a top 10 economy for decades. It slipped further and further and further down. You have a significant amount of arable land. You have a lot of resources. You have a big coastline. You have a highly literate population. Every advantage in the world, but it's not going to be capitalized on because there's no capitalism. That's the whole problem. Milei is the radiotherapy that Argentina needs. The hope is he goes through hard line. Even though if he just half steps it, he does a populistic sort of fusion government thing and he appeases the system to some degree, it'll still be better by far than the alternative. Look at the economy the United States managed to assemble under Donald Trump, for example. Trump was a mild reformer. His bombast was mostly political bombast. He didn't follow through with every pledge that he made, but he definitely improved things. If Milei is nothing more than the Argentinian Donald Trump, you're going to have a good time, but it will take a lot of time and effort. You're going to probably have to give him more time than even one term as president in order to see what you truly can be as a country. So congratulations to the people of Argentina. You made the right decision overwhelmingly. Again, he won by double digit. He won by 11 points. It wasn't even particularly close. That was the real humdinger. I don't think anyone expected Milei to win by that big of a margin. I didn't. I expected he'd win by 2 or 3 points. It'd be not necessarily a squeaker, but it would be relatively close because of the polling and the prior round of voting. He did way better than that. Apparently, a lot of people at the end, they said, fuck it. And so hopefully Argentina succeeds. Ultimately, at the end of the day, I don't want anyone in the world to have to suffer under socialism because socialism is an evil and a cancer, and it should be excised from the world like the cancerous tumor that it is, along with all of its leaders. Paul Zabo, hey Sticks, Clank, can I have a shout out for Bruce Sees All? Cheers from Aussie. Bruce Sees All gets a shout out from Paul Zabo. Sparky, greetings, fearless leader, greetings to you as well. Troublesome Boner, how am I anti-Semitic? I just fooked a Jewish beach. Yes, we'll be getting into Kanye, and I think he may have flipped his lid a little bit. I don't believe in policing speech. I don't believe in holding back in your speech. But, you know, there are some things that if you're self-branded, you can say that can crush your career. And I think that Kanye already did that a while ago, and that's why he gives no more fucks. But we'll be analyzing that. Simple Logic 90, are you going to stream the new Alex Jones game? I'm interested in playing it. Dark World XL, have you considered doing what Viva Fry does and end on YouTube and go on Rumble partway through? Yes, you had to. I don't think you can say Rumble actually on a YouTube super chat. No, because I want people who would prefer to use YouTube to be able to see me. RTZW, what should I build in Minecraft? Just build a castle. Castles are fun. Just make sure it's lit up enough so that mobs don't overrun it. Sherry K, you have a great channel, Tarl. Been following you for around 7 years. Thank you very much for the long-term patronage. Thank you for the compliment. I'll be around for 7 more. Sparky, great grass-fed steaks in Argentina. I felt 20 years younger after being there just a couple of weeks. Beautiful women, too. Yeah, Argentina is a place I'd like to visit. Good climate as well. Speaking of steak, I've got a ribeye marinating in the fridge as we speak. I don't know if it's Argentinian steak, though. I think it's probably locally Dutch. Might be Irish. A lot of the meat here is imported from Ireland. The Grizzly. How will the globalists react to the deglobalization of the West if it's escaping their China-style grasp? Also, do you think Trump will succeed? I give Trump a much better than 50-50 chance. Based on polling, my understanding of history, etc. There are some unknowns, however, in the race that we have to compensate for. I will be voting for him, regardless of whether, by the way, he's on the ballot at all. I will literally write in Donald Trump, and I would encourage everyone else to do so. If the GOP is not willing to defend him and decides to throw him under the bus, the GOP deserves to die as a political force. I don't give a shit about the Republican Party. There are a few Republicans that are worth voting back in, like a Rand Paul or Thomas Massey or something. Most of them, dead weight on a bunch of cowards, really. Yeah. I think globalists will try to start World War III, actually. But then again, they're kind of already doing that right now, aren't they? I think we know their reaction at this moment. Sparky, make Israel Syria again. In those Ottoman Empire days, Jews and Arabs got along fine. Mostly. Not always. The Nerdwire, I propose this amendment. Government should be a public service, only receive no compensation in any form other than a salary equal to the median household income in the state they represent. Yeah, the problem is nobody would want to run for government except for the lower class that would then get a raise. You would end up with a bunch of left-leaning individuals, therefore running the next incarnation that would remove the amendment. So you gotta think a few steps ahead in chess. Mark Guidetti. From the Bosporus to the sea, Byzantium will be free. Turkey is stolen land. Hashtag MICA. Make Istanbul Constantinople again. Joe, love you, Sticks. Long live liberty, my man. Side note, cook any tasting history recipes lately? No, I haven't, although I did do the Parthian chicken and it was delectable. Right now, though, I'm going to be cooking from the Golden One's wife, Julia Fulham, actually. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. I think so. There's one recipe in here for a Hungarian peasant stew, and it sounds fucking delicious. So I'm going to be making that soon. So Old World Feast, available on legiogloria.com, by the way, right now. He sent me this too. This is the woolly thing, and he sent me the Plague Doctor t-shirt, and I love it. Some people mentioned that they were going to buy the shirt. Michael Cricklow, thoughts and prayers to Owen Schroyer. Free Owen. Yes, I agree. Huns with guns. Sometimes it feels like I'm the only right-wing guy that doesn't hate women or have some negative bias towards them. As a person who has a mother, a wife, and a child who happens to be female, I don't hate or revile women either. I don't actually understand that, like the manosphere bullshit. Ricadas lubed, use, and smelly baldo. Got biltong and a stick shirt. Both are fantastic. And the Clank Nation shirt is super soft. Thanks, gents. Anton's biltong. Yeah, so Milei won. You know, I can finally give a run up on that. Oh shit! Now there's more super chats. You're giving me too much money. I'm only one person. Bayonne 201. Good morning from Stowe, Vermont. I'm really afraid that people at my job will turn on me when election season ramps up. Hashtag gays for Trump. Hashtag Clank. Hashtag Clank Nation. Some of them will. You'll know who your real friends are. Wasted Bonehead. Good morning from the grave. Long night in the salt mines. And Sigil, of course, he shows up right after the zombie wakes up. The cemetery caught me shitting on Bonehead's grave and hired extra security. I've got a big moving crate, a stick to prop it up with, and a bag of Reese's Pieces to lure the guard in. Wish me luck. Christ. Not a banned account. The United States will need to reinstate the draft if Gen Z doesn't turn off Xbox. Man up and join the military. Russia is coming, and it's their duty. Musically Assured Destruction. Thoughts on Graham Hancock and Ancient Apocalypse. I made a video on that some time ago, and so you can look that up on the channel. Yeah, I do find the concept interesting, though. Sparky, make Ukraine Russia again. Mungie, with no precedent, how do you think a Trump felony conviction affects 2024 general? This concerns me with the on-the-fence independent vote. The indictment didn't seem to hurt him. If the what's the difference? It's clearly a political persecution. I don't think that it has any particular effect at all. Sparky, don't even leave a patch called Ukraine. Let it remain a NATO and carpetbagger playground, money laundry, plus become a BlackRock property. Lev Polyakov, good morning, Sticks. Self-promotion time. New vid on Break the Rules. Hassan Piker versus the West. More of a crazy animation than a drama video, and would love for you to watch later. That's Lev Polyakov from Break the Rules. I've been on there many times, and yeah, I'll have to check that out. I'll check that out this evening when I have time. Arneo Roger. Women have a bad rap in many circles, Sticks, because they have acted badly. Ask anyone who has lost their kids and house to divorce. Well, again, I've got a mother who's female, a wife who's female, a child who's female, friends who are female, a sister who's female. The fact that there are some shitty women out there doesn't make me hate women. There are plenty of shitty men out there, too. I don't hate them either. Ozzy's Robots. Discrimination and racism against whites is poorly branded and amazingly underpinned by whites, while freedom is poorly marketed, leading to authoritarianism. Mark Guidetti, the people bashing Israel for killing jihadis are completely silent on the Muslim Turk and Azeris slaughtering 100,000 Armenians in Nagorno-Karabakh. Yeah, you don't hear too much about that now, do you? Alan Tanais, my friend gave me a candle that smells like coffee. I love the smell almost as much as Biden loves the smell of young children's hair. Oh, he's equal opportunity. He likes old women's hair for some reason, too. He's just a weird, sniffy dude. King of Biltong, good morning from Anton's in Roanoke, Texas. Free shipping on your Biltong using code STICKS on www.landofbiltong.com and www.antonsusa.com. Try the official Clank meat. Have a great Thanksgiving week, everyone. Yes, we will be having a roast chicken here. Roast chicken? Wasted bonehead. Lol, unless it's brain flavored, they won't bite. They're zombies like me. Anyway, it's time I went on the offensive, Sigil. Your wife is trans. I should know. She's my side bitch. Swamp Donkey. We need to end women's suffering, Sticks. End women's suffrage. Double entendre a bit. Sigil Stone. I'm not married, so who the hell is Bonehead shut-upping? Oh, stooping. And did Bonehead just admit he's gay and banging a dude? Each to their own. Bonehead, you don't even know who you're married to. Truly sad. You shouldn't be ashamed, Sigil. Admit she's your wife. Also, typo, I meant tramp, whore, prostitute. Not a banned account. What happened to the Netherlands farming ban? Oh, there's no farming ban in action. They wanted to confiscate a bunch of farms. I don't believe they have done so yet, though. Sparky, lest it remain, not let, you changed the meaning. Sorry. Wow, Milei won. MAGA cannon must be spread everywhere. Yeah, by the way, one of his semi-official campaign accounts, the first thing that it posted after he was announced the winner was, Trump 2024. So I think that they're going to get along. If Trump is reelected, I think that we've got a friend in Argentina that will be visiting fairly quickly. Next news story. Rosalyn Carter is sadly dead. She is the former First Lady, married to former President Jimmy Carter. Think what the fuck you want about Jimmy Carter and his particular ideological policies and his effectiveness as president. First, she's not an elected official. She did a lot for mental health awareness. She was an activist for years and fucking years. The thing is, I think that Jimmy Carter is not actually, unfortunately, going to outlive the guinea worm, because when people are that old, I think he's like 98 or something. She was 96, old as hell. And they lose their spouse. So they've been together, God, what, for 60 years or 65 or something? They lapped the golden anniversary period considerably. Typically, the other partner doesn't last for very long because of literal heartbreak. You can actually, because you've gotten so used to the person, it's like, imagine you're with someone for 60 years. So every day you talk to them, you got your schedule, and especially if you like do a lot of stuff together, because former president, first lady and stuff, they get these speaking arrangements and stuff. I mean, it's at some point, you're so used to the other person, it's sort of like losing a limb. And losing a limb when you're in your 90s usually is lethal. And so I have a feeling that Jimmy Carter will be dead within a month. That's an official prediction. It's not, by the way, I'm not trying to be like, grotesque or something. I actually respect the Carters. Liberal policies aside, Jimmy Carter as a post-president was spectacular. Probably one of the best that we've had, actually. And Rosalyn is unimpeachable. And they've done a lot of activism, a lot of good. You've got Habitat for Humanity. You've got the mental health awareness. You've got the eradication almost of the guinea worm, et cetera, et cetera. They've been, Jimmy Carter and his wife were more active after the presidency than during the presidency. And accomplished more good in the process. Unlike like the Clintons, they leave office. The second they leave office, all they can do is think about how to grift to make more money and how to screw people and how to do political intrigue like mafioso stuff. The Carters actually got down to brass tacks and said, okay, let's help people. And so they should be remembered for that. So Rosalyn Carter is a good woman, and it's sad to see her go. But she did enter hospice a few days ago. She made it to 96 fucking years old. Jimmy's like 98 or 99. At some point, you're going to give up the ghost. You're going to buy the farm. But definitely, I mean, you look at former presidential couples, And you look like like the Clintons are the most notorious example of the evil former presidential couple, because they refuse to leave politics and keep like dicking around. Even the goddamn Bushes somehow are respectable compared to the Clintons in their post-presidential career. The Carters, I think, have been the best in recent history. Close second would be Reagan and his wife, of course. He basically got Alzheimer's. She was right there with him the whole time. Rosalyn Carter was a good woman. Seems like the kind of wife that a man would want. Certainly stuck by her man. You know, he doesn't get reelected. So if Bill hadn't gotten reelected, Hillary probably would have left his ass. So she would have gone off and found someone else. So, yeah, respect to the Carter family. Shitty presidency doesn't mean that everything you did for the literal half century thereafter wasn't pretty great, actually. Alan Smithy, what if no one capped JFK in his head just did that? Yeah. Scragnasher made a pilgrimage to Anton's shop over the weekend. The biltong did not disappoint, and his baked goods were great as well. Shout out to Anton. I didn't know there were baked goods available there. Sparky, please try it again. Don't even leave a patch called Ukraine, lest it remain a NATO and carpetbagger playground money laundry, plus become a BlackRock property. Okay, I got it this time, I think. Guess the laundry's done. Long Dingus. Hey, Sticks. Wanted to say thank you for never taking the black pill. Your content about such things has helped me immensely. Improvement is possible. Absolutely. Just improve your life in one little marginal way, and you'd be surprised at how much better everything else gets. That's all you have to do. When the hour is darkest, it separates people that say, I can do it. I'm not sure of myself. I don't know if I'll succeed, but I'm going to try, from people who literally, they never get off the ground. They tell themselves they can't do it, so they never actually are capable of succeeding. All you have to do is believe in yourself. That's the biggest step that bogs people down, is that they don't even try because they've self-proclaimed that they can't do it. It's the biggest thing that everyone has to get over in life when times get hard. Senor Faces. Since Argentina is capable of fighting breadlinerism, will Mexico, Chile, and especially Spain would be capable as well? Yeah, where there's a will, there's a way. When people realize that socialism and globalism is the cancer that's killing their countries, they can overthrow it. Commander Jorgen, Sticks, what is your favorite weapon from the Fallout series? Shit. Well, in Fallout 4, I really love Spray and Pray. That's a fun weapon. You know, a Tommy gun with explosive rounds, which gets boosted, by the way, by both, commando and explosives expert, to the point where you can pretty much just lay waste to literally anything in your path. The one problem being you can't use it near a settlement because you'll probably kill your own settlers and have everyone trying to kill you. 87 Sparker. Sticks, where can I find a Dutch wife? When I grow up, I want to be just like you, lol. You can find them in the Netherlands. Musically Assured Destruction. Will Gaza be rebuilt with prototype 15-minute smart cities and towns? I wouldn't put it past the powers that be. Makes it easier to track the Palestinians. Yeah, that'd be something. You're building above a bunch of caves and tunnels, though. It's been pointed out that you may not be able to really fully rebuild Gaza because of the danger involved underground. The Grizzly, women will get a worse rep over the coming generation and are going to be hated by guys more because we have basically made men a second-class citizen status in the West due to many different factors, unfortunately. I don't believe that. I disagree with you. Alan Tenaz was talking to my neighbor the other day. She is pro-Trump but had no idea about Hunter Biden's laptop. She's a mom of 4, so she doesn't have time, and I even showed her that he probably stuffed his niece's turkey. Yeah, he probably did. Just like Joe did with his own daughter. They're a very weird white trash family with a lot of incest in it. You can tell by looking at Biden, he looks like the Deliverance Banjo Kid. There's inbreeding in that family. They're fucking their cousins and stuff. Sigil Stone. Bonehead backpedaling quicker than Netanyahu after the Israeli government threatens to nuke Palestine, and rip Rosalyn Carter, Jim Jones' favorite first lady. Yeah, but I mean, with that and also with the Gacy picture, you've got to understand that when she was posing with these people, their full insanity was not understood. Like, John Wayne Gacy was considered a model prisoner. That's why he was invited there to be with the Carters. He was considered fully reformed. He was doing everything right. Nobody in a million years suspected John Wayne Gacy, who was just that happy dude down the road that does, children's benefits for their, fucking birthdays as a clown. Nobody expected that he had a bunch of bodies in his crawl space. He was very, very good at the sleight of hand thing. Wasted bonehead. I don't retract shit. Autocorrect is a bitch, just like your wife. Anyways, I just always say no homo before sex just to be safe. Mad Phase, finally get to catch this live. Thanks for all your hard work over the years. Happy Thanksgiving, Clank. Sparky, as a Navy nuclear pioneer, it's amazing that Carter is still around. Once he was actually lowered into the core of a reactor with a rope tied around his waist with a wrench to prevent a meltdown. I did not know that. I have to look that up. Can you link me like by Twitter DM? Carter nuclear incident or something? Blue Degolier, if you like horror, rednecks, and hot chicks, Hillbilly Horror Show is fun. Free on Tubi. Wow, if you don't believe you can change, you will self-sabotage and pass on opportunities that would otherwise help you. Exactly. You must believe that you can make a difference. Yeah, no black pill zone. That's what this channel is and always shall be. LS420 Stoner, any idea if the CIA or Winnie the G's China will try to take out Javier? I can't help but think he'll be a pain to the globalists. I don't think so. I think they're hoping that he just milds himself out. We'll see if that happens. Next news story. Disney and Crapple among advertisers to pull business on X after Elon Musk's anti-Semitic post. IBM has also pulled back from advertising on X as Musk faces backlash. Now, okay, let's look at these three companies. There are a bunch of others, like Warner and a few others, that have pulled back advertising on Twitter, also known as X. The thing is, when I look at the companies that are listed here, and the legacy media is McLovin it, there are some problems. Disney. Oh, you mean the self-sabotaging company that is collapsing at the moment and keeps running afoul of Floridian law specifically? Okay. What about Apple? Oh, you mean Apple. And Disney, by the way, also self-censoring in order to cater to a Chinese audience, ironically enough. When we're on the topic of China, we might mention that. Apple, the company that has factories with suicide nets, in China, ironically again as well, that uses child slave labor in Southeast Asia in order to make its shitty phones that are so overpriced. By the way, if you're still using an Apple product, fucking throw it out. Get something else. I realize there aren't as many decent alternatives, but certainly anything is better than Crapple. IBM. You mean, wasn't that the company that made punch cards for the Nazis for Auschwitz and Buchenwald? Complaining about Elon Musk retweeting a tweet? Yes, certainly that's the equivalent to killing millions of people. These companies are being hypocritical NIMBYists, and they're doing this because the woke thing has convinced them that they're going to lose money if they continue to advertise on Twitter. This is literally all about the Benji Greens and nothing else. I just look at the list of companies, though, and all I see is hypocrisy. You make your money off of exploiting people, and in some cases aiding and abetting genocide and things of that nature, and you're complaining about a goddamn fucking tweet that Musk didn't even make. He just replied to a tweet. Get over yourselves. IBM. Oh, yeah. They're very pariahs of virtue. Disney. Yes, absolutely. You stand for democracy in the American way while literally promoting communism at this point. It's they don't even talk about, by the way, the nuance of the posting that was made. So yeah, a bunch of companies have, and then they end up with Tim Pool and the Quartering and people like that pouring money into Twitter, grabbing up ads. If I had more money, I'd probably buy Twitter ads right now too, because now there's a power vacuum. It would be lucrative. Now's the time. The goddamn disclaimer: I'm not officially giving you investing advice, but if I was going to invest money in an ad campaign right now, it would definitely be on X. Because again, a lot of the big companies have pulled out. That means that there's more room to roam. There's more breathing space for people who have a decent amount of money. Like Tim Pool, I think he's pumping $100,000 or some crazy shit into Twitter in order to, I mean, he gains clout by doing so because he can say, I'm walking the walk. It's like, and man, I wish I had $100,000 to invest in an advertising campaign. That would be lit. Unfortunately, I'm not there yet, and probably will never get there to be entirely honest and clear. I make a living, though. I don't know. Maybe I'll go through and see, like, how much do you have to spend to have an ad campaign on X to promote? I don't know. I could promote my Rumble channel or something like that, or just promote my Twitter on Twitter. That would be interesting. Aussie's Robots. Why wouldn't the GOP have their own NGOs passing out the Second Amendment, Declaration of Independence, NRA training, etc. at the border? That'd seal it. Yeah, that would be an interesting idea. Why doesn't the Gun Owners of America should do that? They should canvass about gun rights and how great firearms are at the southern border and hand out pamphlets. Kai the Deer Guy. Love your content, Sticks. Your PMA makes hearing the news a little less annoying. By the way, when are we getting some new occult content? I do have some on the docket, as well as some literature coming soon before the end of the year. It's just there's so much goddamn news to cover every day. It's hard for me to actually keep up with the news cycle. Except on Sunday. Then it's hard for me to scrape the bottom of the barrel to get news to talk about. William Walker. I just came across a photo of Rosalyn Carter with John Wayne Gacy right before you mentioned him. Yep, she posed with John Wayne Gacy. The former First Lady was in a selfie, effectively, with John Wayne Gacy. Yep, the serial killer who killed 20, 25 some odd young boys, adolescents and teens, sodomized them. Cut him into pieces, buried him in a crawl space underneath his house. He's a sick fuck. But at that time, when she posed with him, to be clear, nobody knew he was a sick fuck. He had been arrested for, I think, sodomy, if I remember correctly, with an adult, if I remember correctly. And so he went to prison. But while he was there, though, he would cook. He was actually apparently a skilled chef. And he was liked by the prisoners, the guards, everyone. He did his thing. He abided by the rules and was considered a model prisoner. And they trotted him out because, he's an example of criminal justice reform. He's a person who's been reformed by the system. Rosalyn wanted to shake his hand and stuff. I wonder if she felt weird about that afterwards. Like, oh, shit. That's not going to go over well. Sparky, it was a reactor in Canada circa 1949. Canada asked the U.S. Navy for help, so they sent Carter and a handful of others. I'll look it up and we'll DM a link. Thank you for that. Aussie's Robots, thinking of advertising on Twitter. It's convoluted. 87 Sparker. By the way, some of your links to your books are broken. Ah, shit. Well, I'll have to look into that. Please DM me whether it's the Blogspot, the WordPress, or both. And I'll try to take care of it. Gabagool, you expect the GOP to ever win the popular vote? Not in the immediate tense, no. But you don't need to win the popular vote. You need to win the electoral vote. Sigilstone, interesting how all these tech companies pulled ads from Twitter right after a big meeting with Xi Jinping. Yes, exactly. And also, you don't say no homo when doing a woman, just saying. I'm not still married. Once again, Bonehead being a livist and can't tell the living apart, so he's doing some random guy's husband. Virgil Shadow, finally tried Biltong. Loved it. Yeah, wasn't it great? Jesus. Wasted Bonehead, I've had to deal with necrophobia my whole life, Sigil. People screaming zombie anytime they see me. Why are you worried people will know about your trans wife? You should make an honest woman out of her. Sigilstone, Bonehead is so bigoted against the living, he's improperly throwing out idioms left and right. And Bonehead's follow-up, Sticks, have you seen John Wayne Gacy's paintings? Yes, I have, actually. He wasn't bad at painting, actually. I mean, at least he had a skill. Dark World XL. Funny how you can talk about serial killers, but not labs on YouTube. Yeah, exactly. It's funny. Sam Lee. Hi, Sticks. Is it legal to record a phone conversation with a state worker without their knowledge for legal purposes? Does it matter? If they don't know that you're recording it, and if they're saying or doing something illegal, it could get in a bit of trouble. I think you'd get in less trouble if it's important enough to record. So check your state laws. Look at whether it is a one-party or two-party consent state. If it's a one-party consent state, do whatever you want. Two-party consent, you're probably breaking a state law. I believe it's a misdemeanor generally. May render the recording inadmissible, possibly in a court of law. A judge would have to decide that. Next news story, Kanye West has gone insane. I don't think he cares at this point. Kanye West's new song, Vulture, made in partnership with T. Dolla $ign and DJ Ferris, has shown little has changed for the artist named Anti-Semite of the Year, for what little it's worth, by Stop Anti-Semitism in 2022. Okay, I support free speech, just to be clear, unbridled free speech. So this doesn't offend me, what I'm about to say, and I don't give a shit, and I have no problem with Kanye, although he's clearly a little bit warped and very egotistical. I think he should make his music. I don't have a particular problem with him. I think Yeezys are overpriced, but whatever. Who gives a shit? That being said, there are good and bad decisions that you can make in life. A good decision would be to try to continue to brand yourself. You're selling your shoes, you're selling your music, etc. A bad decision would be to pop the following lyrics into your song. The song, released on the evening of November 17th, I'm probably going to listen to the song later because I'm going to find it hilarious, has some controversial lyrics, including, "How am I anti-Semitic? I just fucked a Jewish..." I don't know if I can actually follow. It's the B word. In the third verse, the above line is followed with, "I just fucked Scooter's bitch and we ran up like the Olympics." Scooter Braun, Kanye's former manager, has an ex-wife who is Jewish. So I guess he is saying that he fucked Scooter's ex-wife or something. I hate the fact that I have to a little bit self-censor, but you can, again, link in the description. You can read it for yourself and listen to his song. And I think I will cue it up. In fact, fucking let me cue it up right now. I'm not going to play it because then I'll definitely get banned, but Christ almighty, this is going to be hilarious. I find irreverent things like that, and including bigoted humor. Just to be clear, I find bigoted humor to be funny. There's a difference between comedic context. This would fall under the creative genre. I don't get offended by it. I don't really care. It sounds like he has a problem with his ex-manager more than anything. That being said, it's probably not the greatest idea to do that if you want to like revive your career and get another manager. It's probably counterproductive, but I don't think Kanye at this point cares. I found it when I read that, when I got somebody linked it to me earlier on Twitter this morning. And when I saw it, I was like, oh shit, that's definitely going in the docket. It's just so off the wall. It's absolute Kanye mode. Sparky. In the 70s, politicians didn't talk about their military service. For instance, George McGovern was a decorated B-24 pilot in World War II, but you wouldn't have known it when he ran for president in 72. Apache, Kanye's line hits home for me. I feel the same way about, I definitely can't say that on YouTube, but if Abby Shapiro came my way, I would have no problem. Oh God, why are so many people thirsty for Abby Shapiro, by the way? I'm not going to understand that. Jackie fucking Chan, a cult question. I astral projected and saw the outline of a gray alien thing on my wall over a green vortex when I opened my eyes. What was this? I don't know. It could be that you saw an extra-dimensional traveler, or it could have been a dream-induced hallucination. Who knows? Thomas Kefaber. I saw a Gacy clown painting at John Waters' house in Baltimore. He keeps the Gacy's on his third floor. Interesting. TSUA, what's your take on mirror-dwelling spirits? Real and spooky or fake and gay? No, your mirror does not have evil spirits in it. Don't worry too much. Unless, I mean, if I look in the mirror, then I see something that looks like a hideous evil spirit, but, you know. So I try to stay away from them. Sija, let's see. By the way, please send no more super chats because I've still got a shit ton of them to work through here, and I've got a couple more news articles still. Sigil Stone, Bonehead is so bigoted against the living. Oh, I already did that one. Never mind. Wasted Bonehead. Sigil, you can't be alivist. Alive people have institutional power, and as such, you cannot be racist towards them. Checkmate, bitch. Sigil, another dead person voting Dem. Many such cases. Yeah, there is an overlap. We're gonna have to look into Wasted Bonehead's voting records. Sparky, in the 70s, people in the U.S. weren't cool with war or the military. Still had the Vietnam hangover. Wow, Abby got them big old jitties. Christ. Can't believe that I uttered that phrase on a live stream. It's definitely 2023. So yeah, I'll check out the Kanye song later because it's fucking hilarious. Next news story, Bill Clinton had a big oopsie. I realize that he doesn't manage his own Twitter page. If you have not followed them, please follow Freeze Blue IT over on Twitter if you have a Twitter account for the epic reward for archiving this, because otherwise, you wouldn't know it was real. Rosalyn Carter, as we discussed, died earlier today. Very sad. Naturally, you have a bunch of people giving their sympathies to the Carter family and saying, rest in peace. And, here's a statement from the mayor of, Kentucky Green on Rosalyn Carter's passing and stuff like that. The Bill Clinton team, though, definitely hired a new intern recently that didn't quite know what they were doing. They put out a statement on the death of Rosalyn Carter. The problem is when they made the tweet, they put out the old template for Dianne Feinstein's death as the image. So you have the image, again, link in the description, see it for yourself. It was archived. Bill Clinton. Rosalyn Carter was the embodiment. I should do it in his. Rosalyn Carter was the embodiment of a life lived with purpose. Mine Hillary's full statement. I do an okay Bill Clinton. Not as good as my Bernie Sanders, but whatever. The problem is the image is talking about Dianne Feinstein croaking. So you used a template to express your deep and profound feelings of sadness. This individual that you were so close to has died. And it's just not a good look. Now, again, it's not Bill Clinton that posted this. He clearly is out of his gourd too much to be able to operate a Twitter account. He's too fucking old, number one. Number two, he's too fucking stupid. And number three, he's too fucking rich and lazy. So a staffer definitely was the one that did this. But didn't you fucking double check the image before you posted it? My statement on Rosalyn Carter's passing, well, we deeply grieve the loss of Dianne Feinstein. I'm like, what? What the fuck? Yeah. Wild Billy C. boned her. Yeah, I mean, Bill Clinton probably would have fucked Rosalyn Carter. I mean, it looks better than his wife, so, can't be too choosy when you're his age and you have his proclivities. Chris Jones, an intern just got their wings. Yes, because they just got fired, not just fired, but literally tossed across the room by Hillary Clinton. They probably had a plate thrown at their goddamn head. If Hillary was in the house at the time when they posted this and that intern was there, oh my God, can you imagine the berating that they got? Can you imagine how fucking terrified they must have been? Oh shit, Hillary Clinton's coming down the hallway. She doesn't look happy. This is not going to be my day. Bill Clinton didn't do this, but whatever staffer did is probably out of a job at this very moment. Statement from President Clinton and Secretary Clinton on the passing of Senator Dianne Feinstein. Again, this was archived just in time by Freeze Blue. So please do follow Freeze Blue IT over on Twitter. In fact, just in case someone has trouble spelling freeze, one of my fellow clankers there, I'll just pop it into chat. Bap Nednarp. Nancy Reagan sucked dicks for days. Yeah, you always wonder about the sexual proclivities of some of these people. Like, did Ronnie like getting his bone shined up? Did he enjoy that? Who cares? Anyway, next news story and the final one. Boy 10 killed by violent gang of monkeys that continues to terrorize small village. Officials say this is the third attack by the violent monkey troop. A gang of violent monkeys that has terrorized a small town in India struck again, killing a 10-year-old boy by ripping out his intestines last Tuesday. Dipak Thakur was playing with his friends in the village of Salki when he was attacked by what has become a notorious gang of monkeys, with one of the animals digging his claws into the boy and tearing out his intestines, according to a report from The Sun. Thakur was rushed to the hospital after the attack, but doctors were unable to save his life. Now, it's sad for the kid and his family and so forth. Doesn't the Indian government think that if a bunch of monkeys have behaviorally, they're inclined towards attacking people, that maybe you should kill them? I mean, I know that you've got Hanuman and stuff, and there's some reverence for certain species of monkeys in India, in almost worshipful sense. And they coexist with people and generally are peaceable. The problem is that monkeys learn really easily. If you end up with a band of monkeys learning that humans are vulnerable and it's amusing to them or somehow necessary to attack them, and they start learning from one another, you're going to end up with like literal guerrilla warfare. I realize gorillas are an ape, not a monkey, but you get the reference. you're going to end up with them raiding homes at night and shit and realizing, hey, we can just fucking kill these people and take all of their food. This could be a problem. We've seen in nature, monkeys and apes are capable of learning from one another to a greater or lesser degree. Corvids can do the same thing. Crows, rooks, ravens, and magpies. To a limited extent, like cats, dogs, elephants, some of the other animalia. But monkeys and apes are on the higher end when it comes to intelligence. If I was a local official and I learned that monkeys had ripped out a 10-year-old's intestines, possibly unprovoked, it's not entirely clear, I would order them eradicated. I would have them all exterminated, and I guess you can eat the meat. So, you can sell it to the Chinese. Where do you think half the exotic diseases come from? I think that it's probably a good idea to poison the monkeys or shoot the monkeys if they're doing this sort of thing, but we'll see what happens. It's weird. Monkeys can be aggressive, but normally don't kill people. You have also occasionally have ape rape that goes on. Chimpanzees or whatever will attack a tourist and rape them. But again, normally it's uncommon. It's just you don't want that behavior spreading around in the band. Like they say a band of monkeys, but if they can't individually identify which monkeys are doing it, it could be a small group within the band. But it's probably better to just eradicate the whole thing, because otherwise they're going to start ripping the intestines out of other people. What happens when they beat some woman to death and pull the fetus out of her stomach and parade it down the road or something? In other words, what happens when they start acting more human? Yeah, humans act way worse than even the most violent apes or monkeys, but, it'd probably be best, in case humanity dies out, it would probably be best not to leave behind a band of monkeys that acts like us now, wouldn't it? Hopefully the bonobos are the next one that sort of evolve in an intelligent direction. Instead of the chimp-like ancestor next time, hopefully it's the bonobos. Then they just have a big-ass lesbian orgy anytime anything goes wrong. True, by the way, they do that. Wow, Dankula covered the Gombe chimpanzee war. Good watch. Yeah, chimps can be exceptionally violent. Again, please don't send any more super chats. There's still a few more here. Wasted Bonehead. Damn, Sigil has a point. The undead are notoriously dem voters. Sticks, make a red pill video for the undead horde. Sigil Stone. People like Abby Shapiro because she's got them big ol' Khazar milkers that dispense Manischewitz, I think. I don't know how to pronounce that. Kid killed by monkeys. Man, there's a lot of jokes about Chicago and Detroit in there you can't make on YouTube. Yeah, I mean, humor is no longer allowed on YouTube. Stunner Shade 6. How would you rate the comfort factor of those new shirts? They look amazing. Thinking of buying. 10 out of 10, actually. Again, you can get them from Legio Gloria, the Golden Ones website. Books, a book also, a cookbook by his wife. And that comes highly recommended again. I'll just simp for it again. This is, I'm definitely going to be making a few recipes from this, especially some of the soups and the pies. There's one, it's a sort of like a, kind of like a quiche / omelet sort of thing with mushrooms and stuff in it and leeks. I love mushrooms and leeks, so you can't go wrong. Sparky. Bill Clinton's never once used email, much less Twitter. Lawyer Spidey senses he had told him it could be trouble. Hillary, not so much. Yeah, frog rape, yeah. Sigil Stone, but you can make a Mortal Kombat joke. Monkey wins. Fatality. Yeah, so I would definitely say I really like the plague shirt, these woolen ones. This one, I think, I can't remember which one. There's 4 different woolen shirts that are on there. You can, this is the one with the little pockets on the bottom. You can look that up and maybe get one. It's real wool. It's definitely very high quality as well. Very, very warm, which is good this time of year when you're in a climate where it rains 300 days out of the fucking year. Anyway, I think I'm going to go offline. I've talked about monkeys and disemboweling people and Argentina electing a libertarian, well, quasi-libertarian, and just some weird shit going on today. If you hadn't noticed, I'll be back tomorrow with another live stream, and I hope that you enjoyed the show. To the over 5,000 people who watched live, I'm going to go do a news crawl, and I've got that steak marinating in the fridge for hours and hours, and I'm going to goddamn gorge on that later. And it's a ribeye, my favorite cut, by the way. Get a ribeye steak and cook it medium well. I mean, it's not medium well, medium rare, rather. We're not razor fist. Just to show dedication to clankdom. Crossover Maniac, don't forget my earlier super chat. Ah, shit. If I can find it, and then I'm going to go offline. You're probably trolling me. Christ on a stick. Crossover Maniac. Oh, if Gacy took a picture with Reagan instead, we wouldn't hear the end of it from the same media that kept quiet about the Carter picture. You do have a point, but I'm not going to crucify someone for standing next to someone who was at the time conceived of as fully and totally rehabilitated. So yes, Rosalyn Carter's dead. Unfortunate. But I'm going to go offline. That's goddamn 87 Sparker. Ah, you are Razor Fist. Yes, my bad. I will be cooking it medium rare, not medium well. That's about all.